True Sports episode 86 is on. I'm Taylor Phillips. He's Louis Tenor. Um, I actually did an episode of my other Michigan Sports Truth podcast single handedly because Ed Smith, uh, again, had technical problems on his own end with with his laptop and other undisclosed stuff, undisclosed measures.
Right.
So I gave him the week off
Okay.
so I can write all of my own notes, as many notes as I can, as much analysis I can, provide as much analysis as I can. Yeah, the lot. Yeah, we're gonna get to the Lions and Packers
Yes.
like soon, but
Okay.
yeah, I explained that and mentioned something very particular
Mm.
that might factor in. Not and it's nothing had to do with the weather or the referees. No,
Okay.
but we'll get to that later. So hang tight. So if anyone's watching, just hang tight, please. So the Eagles took good care of the Buccaneers. The Eagles still won, still came with away with a victory. They're the defending NFC champions, and then um, the Rams and Bengals played a close game, but
Yeah.
the Rams pulled away by 10 or 3 actually. Actually the Bengals won actually. Yeah, 19-16. I remember that now.
Close game. Yes.
Dang close, I tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like I thought.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can go either way.
It could have gone either way. It is right.
Yeah.
So, Lions and Packers 2-1. They're both going in 2-1. I'm
Yeah.
actually willing to. All right. So, yes, Jared Goff and Jordan Love have been statistically good. Jared Goff only 2 interceptions thrown,
Right.
2 in the last 2 games though. But Jordan Love just the 1 interception. That's been it.
Yeah.
But that was in the last game.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it, Aaron Rodgers passed the torch over to Jordan Love, to take over as the franchise quarterback.
Yep. And then you got the Lions and Packers defenses. They
Yeah.
they're they're both pretty good and evenly matched too.
Yes.
So the Packers offensive line apparently may be a little stronger than the Lions offensive line in comparison to that.
Maybe.
But the one thing I wanted to mention that about this upcoming game is the turnover battle that could factor in, like I
Ah.
mentioned before. The Lions have turned the ball over more than the Packers um, offense has. But at the
Right.
same time, the Lions forced a turnover. Aiden Hutchinson forced forced a fumble on Ritter, Desmond Ritter, quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons, in a 20-6 win at Ford Field for the Lions.
Yes.
Hutchinson caused that fumble and recovered it to seal the game. Just under 2 minutes to go,
Yeah.
inside the 2-minute warning. The
That was the
Lions,
clincher.
yeah, the Lions recorded 7 sacks. So that Packers offensive line could be put to the test.
Oh, definitely. I'm looking to be a really tight game here on offense.
Yep, yep. I'm thinking it's going to be more of like very, very tight, just very
Yeah.
tight. More of a little bit of a defensive game, but I
Well,
think the offenses. I think both offenses are going to strike as well,
oh yeah,
exchange blows for,
for
at
sure.
times. I'm still predicting the Lions would win, but by only for but by only 1 point.
Yeah.
Just by 1 point. The Lions are favored by a point and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't going to be one of those one-sided games. This is not going to be a 70-20 game for sure. This will be very tight all the way through.
No, that's right. You're right about that. In fact, in fact, a point and a half is the narrowest spread that anyone could
Yeah.
ever face prior to game time
Yes.
in any sport,
Right.
in
More.
any level.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll be just as I expect. I mean, these teams know each other. They're the oldest rivalry in the NFL. I wouldn't expect anything less than a real tight game throughout. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
Right. But I may have to look into the you know prices per month, streaming prices per month, and compare them between Amazon Prime Video and NFL Plus on the NFL mobile app.
Hmm. Yeah. All right.
So with that,
All right.
it, so with that, it's time to go over those MLB scores to begin that True Sports Report. Go ahead.
And away we go. All right. We got some games in progress, and we'll start right at the top here. In the top of the eighth, the Dodgers are leading the Rockies 8-2 with runner on first and two out. Lawrence is pitching and Muncy is batting. In the top of the sixth, the Rangers lead the Angels 2-0 with a runner on first and two out. Koenig is pitching and Heim is at bat. The Angels had so much promise. Going into the top of the fifth, the Astros lead the Mariners 4-3. Uh, Altuve is due up, so followed by Bergman and Alvarez. Excuse me for a second. I hate when this happens. There we go. Okay, top of the sixth, the Giants lead the Padres 2-1. Flores is due up along with Peterson and Estrada. All the rest are finals as the D-backs beat the White Sox 3-0. Uh, Planoff had won, got the win. Plano got the loss, and Sawecki got the save. In game one, the Mets beat up on the Marlins 11-2. Luciani got the win, and Garrett got the loss. Guardians over the Reds 4-3. Bieber got the win, Abbott got the loss, and Clase got the save. Rays over the Red Sox 5-0. Glasnow got the save and got the win, and Bello got the loss. Orioles over the Nationals 5-1. G-Rod got the win, and Corbin got the loss. Oh boy, that's my only thing. G-Rod. Tigers and Orioles were suspended today. They'll pick up the game tomorrow at 1:10, and they were leading 4-0 at the time of the suspension. Phillies over the Pirates 7-6. Cartney got the win. Hernandez got the loss, and Sato got the save. Yankees blanked the Blue Jays 6-0. Cole got the win, and Barros got the save. Braves over the Cubs 6-5 in 10 innings. Chavez got the win, and Pasina got the loss. In game two, the Marlins got revenge on the Mets 4-2. Moore got the win. Otavio got the loss, and Nardi got the save. Twins over the A's 6-4. Karnoko got the win. Jamirez got the loss, and Jax got the save. And finally, the Brewers over the Cardinals 3-2. Pampalius got the win. Barnes got the loss, and Williams got the save. All right, so we'll go to tomorrow's schedule as we come down to the last 4 days of the season, of the regular season. Yep, that's right. Okay, so here we go. Starting at 1:10, the A's take on the Twins. 2:10, the D-backs take on the White Sox. 3:30, the Royals take on your Tigers. 4:10, the Cardinals take on the Brewers. 6:05, the Pirates take on the Phillies. 6:35, the Red Sox take on the Orioles. 7:07, the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. 7:10, the Marlins take on the Mets. 7:20, the Cubs take on the Braves. 8:40, the Dodgers take on the Rockies. At 9:40, the Rangers take on the Mariners. So coming down to the last few days, standings are now important or more important than ever, but they're pretty much wrapped up as the Orioles lead the AL East at 99-59, 2.5 over the Rays at 97-62. Blue Jays hanging in there at 87-71, 12 back. Yankees 81-77, 18 back, is now been officially eliminated as of Sunday. And the Red Sox 76-82, 23 back. Twins wrap up the AL Central 88-69, 2.5 over the Astros, 86-72. The Mariners are 3 back at 85-72. So that's a tight race to look out for. Angels eliminated at 71-87, 17.5 back. And the A's, which have been out since the second week of April, 48-110, 40.5 back. Oof. That is just plain awful. Oh,
I think the Tigers are going to beat the Royals when they finish their game.
yeah.
It should be a
Oh,
sweep.
yeah. Okay. To the West, the Braves 102 and 56
The
have a
West,
13 game. The National League East.
thank you.
Braves 102 and 56, 13 games ahead of the Phillies at 89-69, but they do clinch the wild card spot. Marlins 82 and 76, 20 back. The Mets 72 and 86, 30 back, and the Nationals 69-90, 33.5 back.
Well,
To the Central, the Brewers 89-69, a 7-game lead over the Cubs at 82 and 76, which I think have now been eliminated, but we'll check on that. Reds 81-78, 8.5 back. Pirates eliminated at 74 and 84, and the Cardinals at 69-89, 20 back. And finally in the West, the Dodgers 97 and 60, 13.5 ahead of the Diamondbacks at 84 and 74. The Padres 78 and 80, 19.5 back. Also at 78 and 80 are the Giants at 19.5 back, and the Rockies 57 and 100 at 40 back. Yeah, I thought the Giants were going to get better this year. Hey, anybody want some exhibition hockey? I've got some of that too.
yeah, the Red Wings
All
beat the
right.
Penguins last night 4-3. Michael Rasmussen got the game-winning goal in the third period.
Nice. All right, with 9:07 to go, the Canucks and Oilers are tied at 1 apiece. 13:57 to go in the second period. The Knights are up on the Kings 2-0. The Ducks over the Sharks 2-1. 14:34 to go in the second period. All this are final as the Maple Leafs beat the Sabres 5-2. The Hurricanes over the Panthers 4-1. That's the Carolina Panthers. Islanders over the Flyers 2-1. Oh boy. Canadians over the Senators 4-3. The Lightning over the Predators in overtime 2-1. And the Flames beat the Jets in a shootout 3-2. Still got about 3 weeks to go before the regular season starts, but there's still games to be played during the preseason, and tomorrow's schedule goes like this. We got the Sabres taking on the Penguins at 7 o'clock. Other 7 o'clock games are your Red Wings taking on the Capitals, and if you're for the New York, New Jersey area, the Devils taking on the Rangers. 8 o'clock, Rockies take on the Wild.
The
8:30.
Avalanche? Wait, the Rockies.
The Avalanche. Sorry.
Yeah.
8:30, the Blues taking on the Blackhawks, and at 10, the Canucks taking on the Seattle Kraken, which is no slouch for just a second-year team.
Right.
All right, so now on to the news items of the day. The Calgary Flames got two of their questions answered today when they signed center Mike Blacklund to a 2-year extension that also named their team captain. Re-signing Blacklund to a 2-year deal worth $4.5 million annually resolved one of the most prominent issues facing the team entering training camp. Blacklund is coming off one of his strongest seasons by scoring 19 goals with 56 points in 82 games. And the Flames just missed the playoffs by 2 points last season. That was a heartbreaker right there for them. All right, moving on. The Portland Trail Blazers are trading guard Damian Lillard to the Bucks as part of a three-team deal that also includes the Suns. Source told ESPN today. The Blazers will receive Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, and Toumani Camara, the Bucks' unprotected first-round pick, and unprotected swap picks in 2028 and 2030. Sources told ESPN. That far down the road. The Suns will receive Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson, sources told ESPN. The deal comes months after Lillard requested a trade in early July, as the Blazers did not take a patient approach to negotiations. Lillard leaves the Blazers after 11 seasons, where he made 7 All-Star appearances and 7 All-NBA teams, and led his team to 8 playoff appearances, including a trip to the Western Conference Finals in the 2018-2019 season. He is the all-time franchise leader in points and three-pointers made, and second in assists. Last season, Lillard had a career high of 33.2 points per game with 7.3 assists, but only played in 58 games last season as he sat out the final month. Perhaps his greatest game of last season was on February 26th against the Rockets when he scored 71 points. Yet, despite those high numbers, the Blazers missed the playoffs for a second straight year. No wonder he wanted to trade. All right. Memphis freshman Mikey Williams remains away from the basketball team while the legal process plays out regarding his April arrest, the university announced yesterday. Williams is enrolled in online classes at the University of Memphis and is listed on the team's roster, but the school does not have access to team facilities or activities. That will remain the case until the process is complete. We wonder how long that's going to take. The process to assess and determine his status with the team will be at the appropriate time, the school said. Williams, a top 50 recruit with millions of followers on social media, was arrested in April on multiple felony charges related to a shooting near his home in San Diego. Williams faces 5 charges of assault with a weapon and 1 count of firing into an occupied vehicle. He pleaded not guilty at the hearing in April. What are you, nuts? According to the police, Williams allegedly fired a gun in a car full of people who just left his residence. His preliminary hearing, which has been postponed 3 times, is now scheduled for October 10th. Same day as the hockey season opens up. Interesting. Right. Okay, for you hockey fans out there, well, got some bad news as goaltender Corey Schneider, who mostly is associated with the Canucks and my New Jersey Devils, announced his retirement from the league yesterday. Schneider, last playing in the league in the 2021-22 season, was not signed to a new team. But he says, "I'm at peace," he told the Salem News in his namesake of Massachusetts. "I will miss my teammates and the intensity of playing, but the time is right." Schneider was a first-round pick in the 2004 draft by the Canucks and played the Canucks from 2008 to 2013. He and Roberto Luongo both teamed up to win the William and Jennings Trophy in the 2010-2011 season with the best team goals against average in the league. Schneider played 311 410 career games for the Devils from the 2013 to 2020 season and was an All-Star in 2016. He did play one game for the Islanders in the 2021-22 season, made late career injuries, and made 27 saves to beat the Devils. He retires with a record of 171, 159, and 58. Recorded 10,567 saves overall with a 9.18 save percentage and a goals against average of 2.43. He ranks second in Devils history behind Martin Brodeur in games played and with 8,023 saves, including 17 shutouts. I know some people are not going to be happy about his retirement announcement. Magic Johnson's love for the Lakers has kept him from considering ownership of another NBA team. The Knicks might be the one team where he could have second thoughts. Oh, nice. I think it'd be intriguing, Johnson said yesterday. The only team I would think about owning is the Knicks. Johnson arrived in New York for a speaking engagement from Washington, where the new member of the Commanders' new ownership group saw his team lose to the Bills on Sunday. Once back in LA, he will gear up for his Dodgers as they begin postseason play. But the Basketball Hall of Famer has passed on owning NBA teams before. Johnson has named the Warriors, Pistons, and Hawks as teams he has turned down rather than find some competition with the Lakers. The Knicks, though, offer something different. I think because the fans love basketball. You might have to think about because fans of basketball. You might have to think about that one. I love coming to the Garden and watch the kids play, Johnson told the Associated Press. I love being with the fans who are so passionate about the team. And the Knicks fans are smart. They are smart basketball fans, so that I would think I would have to think about, other than that, I probably would not think about owning another franchise. Maybe you can turn this misfortunes around. I hope. All right. When the Nets open up training camp next week, Ben Simmons is expected to be a full participant. Oh dear. That was the message the Nets received from head coach Jacques Vaughn and general manager Sean Marks told reporters yesterday morning in Brooklyn, where Simmons is participating on 5-on-5 workouts without any restrictions and should be ready to go for camp next week. Oh dear. Ben is playing 5-on-5 with no restrictions and should be ready for camp. That's said by Jacques Vaughn himself. Very simple, that in a way which is good for me, to say I think it fits into an exciting time for me to have this group together. No restrictions at the beginning of the year. Get to form an identity together and get to form relationships at the beginning of the year. A style of play, so really looking forward to the challenge and getting into camp because of that. It's been a rocky few seasons for Simmons, who missed all 21-22 after requesting a trade from the Sixers, and then having arrived back in Brooklyn in a blockbuster trade for James Harden in February 2022, having suffered back problems that prevented him from returning to the court. Simmons did return to the court last season, but only played in 42 games as back problems continued, and never looked like the all-star he once was when he played for our rival, the Sixers. But Simmons told Mark J. Spears of Anscape he is ready for the new season to start. As am I. Yeah. All right. Columbus Blue Jackets hired Mark Recchi as assistant to Pascal Vincent's staff back on Monday. Recchi was last on the bench in the 2021-22 season with the Devils as an assistant who ran the power play. Included into the Hall in 2017, inducted rather, Recchi was a 7-time All-Star who won 3 Stanley Cups for 3 different teams, namely the Penguins, Hurricanes, and Bruins, to make a win for us. Recchi has been part of the NHL for 3 decades and brings an incredible amount of experience to the staff and Vincent. After naming Vincent to his new role last week, the Blue Jackets management admitted it was a mistake of hiring Mike Babcock. Amen to that. Uh, Flyers forward Sean Courier will skate again for the first time in 20 months. He actually did skate for the first time in 20 months on Monday. Courier, who had gone through 2 back surgeries and last played in a game in December of 2021, says he feels good since the start of camp, but knows there's a bit of rust to shake off over the next few weeks. Well, sure. I have been waiting for this moment for the past few weeks, said Courier, as the Flyers and Devils played in the preseason game back on Monday. All summer I've been thinking about this moment, and now it's here. I'm just excited to get warm-ups going and get the first warm-up shifts out of the way and just play some hockey, for crying out loud. The Seeley Trophy winner as the NHL's best defensive forward in the 2019-2020 season. Courier is penciled in for the top line this season. He's a two-time three-goal scorer, and along with Cam Atkinson, will bring firepower to a Flyers team that was lacking all of last season. Atkinson sat all of last season with a herniated disc in his neck. It can be physical at times in the preseason games, but it's a good test. I'm not scared of it. In fact, I welcome it. Okay. So you do. Well, good luck. All right. So now we'll move on to the other news of the day here. Okay. Carolina Panthers quarterback Bryce Young is on track to return at the start for Sunday's home game against the Vikings, unless a setback happens with his sprained right ankle over the next few days, said by head coach Frank Reich. Young, who missed Sunday's loss against the Seahawks, participated fully in today's practice. This was his first practice since suffering a mid-ankle sprain in week 2 in a loss to the Saints. The ankle was taped up before Young showed up for practice, but did not hinder his workload. The big issue is to see how he responds, says Rick, because it was a good work day, just to make sure there are no setbacks, no flare-ups, but it was on track. I think he's in the right direction. During his 3 seasons at Alabama, he only missed 1 game when he separated his throwing shoulder in a game against Texas A&M. Oof. Mets outfielder Starling Marte, who has been on the 10-day injured list since August 7th with a groin strain, is officially done for the year. That's said by manager Buck Showalter. Marte was scheduled to play in a simulated game yesterday, but was canceled due to rain. The 2-time All-Star and 2-time Gold Glove winner finished the season with 5 home runs, 20 RBIs, and 24 stolen bases in 86 games. He still has 2 years left in his 4-year, $78 million deal that he signed in December of 2021 with the Mets. The Brewers clinched the NL Central last night for the 3rd time in 6 years, despite losing to the Cardinals, but got help as the Braves beat the Cubs. The Brewers clinched their 2nd division title crown as the Braves came from way behind to beat the Cubs. The Brewers crowd roared in the 9th inning of the Cubs-Braves game that was shown up on the video board. This time of year, but just score watching anyway. Moving on. You could sense something was going on in the stands, said Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Then I turned behind me and looked down at some of the clubhouse guys were scurrying way too fast for us, losing 4-1. So I knew something was going on. The division title did not come without drama, as the Braves had to come back from 6 runs down to beat the Cubs, and are now the wild card competition. Down from 6 runs. Wow. The winning run came in the bottom of the 8th on a fielding error by Seiza Suzuki after Braves catcher Sean Murphy hit a fly ball to right field. Suzuki called off center fielder Corey Bellinger, but lost the ball in lights and dropped it.
Because of that, they scored 6 runs.
Well, no, it was a 6-run. They were down by 6 runs, but errors came in and they just blew the lead. Wow.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Because of that, they scored 6 runs.
Yeah. When do you hear the pun at the end? I was seeing it to the very last second. Suzuki said after the game, "I thought the ball was in my glove, so it was a split. It was a split second. My vision was blurred down. Or to put it like this, he was blinded by the light. Oh no, sorry. Drew Smyly made the comeback by throwing two wild pitches in the eighth inning. Matt Olson set the stage for a pinch runner. Forrest Wall, both runners easily scored on the error by Suzuki. You went from a sure win to a loss just like that. My goodness. Titans left guard Peter Zorowski said he ruptured his appendix last month and is scheduled for an emergency appendectomy. Ooh boy. Zorowski said he was in discomfort and was taken to an area hospital in Nashville on September 16th. His appendix burst at the hospital. It ruptured, however, was caught. Basically, Zorowski said today, "I am very appreciative of everyone at the hospital that helped me out." Oof. But to have that rupture in the hospital, or to have it rupture at all, that could be scary. They did a great job. "I'm doing well," he said. Zorowski said, who has not played in the last 2 weeks, said he has lost weight because he did not have much of an appetite. He plans to gradually gain it back once his appetite returns. Titans head coach Mike Vrabel said he's in good spirits and plans to get back at the weight room, along with conditioning work as well. The plan is to take his return to the weight room day by day. The training staff will start with core work and expand from there. They see what Sonorski can handle. The Jaguars defensive end Devin Lloyd has surgery on his right thumb and will miss the next 2 games as the Jaguars will play in London. Head coach Doug Peterson told receiver Zay Jones it is a long shot to play in Sunday's game at Wembley Stadium on Sunday against the Falcons. Peterson says Jones will make the trip to London and could possibly play against the Bills on the 8th of October. Lloyd, who was selected 27th in the 2022 draft, was injured in last Sunday's loss to the Houston Texans. Houston, you don't have a problem here. Okay. Lloyd he started every game this season and had 19 tackles and a fumble recovery. Second-year player Chad Muma is likely to replace him. Jones was injured in a week 2 loss to the Chiefs. He re-entered the game but did not play against the Texans. Jamal Agnew and second-year player Tim Jones picked up the reps against the Texans and that is likely to continue against the Falcons. Jones has 5 catches and 55 yards for a touchdown this season. He set career highs last season with 82 catches and had 823 receiving yards. All right. The Atlanta Braves hit a milestone last night, and it did not come from Ronald Acuna Jr. or Matt Olson. Left fielder Kevin Pillar crushed a 3-run pitch from Cubs starter Justin Steele in the 6th to give the Braves their 300th home run for the year. The Braves are the first National League team to reach that mark in a season, and just the 3rd team overall to do it. Only the 2019 Twins and Yankees, with 306 and 307 home runs, have hit more in a season. Wow, it's kind of amazing. In all the years of baseball. The Braves did it with a balanced attack led by Olson, who has smacked 53 long balls. Acuna had a 2-run homer to push the total to 301, and is totaled now to 41 on the season as the Braves rallied for a 7-6 win against the Cubs. 4 other players have hit at least 30 home runs this season for the Braves, and 2 others hit at least 20. "We know we're capable of on offense," said Pillar after the victory. "We just try to be a dangerous offense and compensate for when pitching is not on that day." Pillar's best blasted his 9th of the year. One more from him in the final week of the season will give the Braves 11 players with at least 10 home runs or more in a season. Shocking, isn't it?
Yep.
8 days after winning his 200th game, Cardinals pitcher Adam Wainwright says he has thrown his last pitch. "I thought about it a lot over the past few days, but I'm in a good place mentally. the Cardinals right-hand pitcher said in last night's game against the Brewers. No regrets about anything. I never did. No second thoughts with saying, did I make the right decision on pitching or retiring? I'm at peace with it at this point than I've ever been. Well, congratulations on that. Wainwright, a three-time All-Star, pitched all 18 seasons of his career with the Cardinals, who won the 2006 World Series in just his second year. He threw 7 innings and gave up 4 hits in his final start on September 18th with a 1-0 victory over the Brewers. I knew that day after I pitched that it was going to be hard for me to throw competitive again, said Wainwright. It was his longest outing of the season for Wainwright, who this year was 5-11 with an ERA of 7.40. He recorded his final out by throwing a curveball to Josh Donaldson, who filed out. Wainwright went on the injured list with a groin injury in March and a shoulder strain in July. He made 21 starts, throwing in 101 innings with 55 strikeouts. Manager Oliver Marmol said during the Cardinal series in San Diego last weekend, Wainwright's played catch, and the reality is there is no way he'll be able to go out and throw another inning. To walk off the field the way he did at home, ending on a curveball, fans were on their feet. The ovation after he came out, and there's no better way to go out, said Marmol. That's true. The Angels prevented the Rangers from taking a step closer to entering the postseason for the first time since 2016 after losing 9-3, but it might have been a lot worse. AL batting leader Corey Seager left in the 6th inning after being hit by a pitch in his forearm last night in the 5th. Manager Bruce Bochy said Seager left with a forearm contusion, but x-rays said that they were negative. Seager had been hit by a pitch twice last week. Angels star Rick Demeters was trying to come in a bit too far. I could have held it against him, said Seager. With where the game was, it was better to get out and get off your feet and feel better tomorrow. Seager was batting .332 after going 1-2 as a 4-point lead over Tampa Bay's Yandy Diaz. And there is some swelling, but hopefully he'll be able to return in the series finale. The Rangers had their 6-game winning streak snapped and have a 2.5 game lead over the Astros and 3 over the Mariners, and reduced their magic number to 3 over both teams as of last night. Yeah. Phillies first baseman Rhys Hoskins remains a long shot to make the postseason roster as he recovers from a torn ACL in his left knee. One encouraging sign is that he's hitting homers in batting practice and is hitting about 75 to 80 pitches a day, said by Phillies manager Rob Thompson. That the slugger will not be cleared ahead of before the World Series if he gets cleared at all. The Phillies did clinch a wild card spot as they beat the Pirates last night, so congratulations on that. Hoskins is playing on his 1-year, $12 million deal, and he has the second longest tenure on the team. Only Aaron Nola has more. Last season, Hoskins hit 30 home runs with 79 RBIs. He was injured in spring training as he was fielding on a ground ball. He's starting to get his power back, said Thompson. Sometimes it takes longer. I think he hit 7 or 8 balls out of the park just today. So that's an encouraging sign. The Phillies clinched. I like that. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts confirmed that he played through flu-like symptoms when they beat the Bucs on Monday night. Just as executing, Hurts said, describing what it looked like to gut it out. It's not the first time I have dealt with this or had to play with something like that, and it always happens during a Monday night game, or at least it feels that way. He was not alone. Center Jason Kelce said several of the Eagles players who did not feel well despite winning. Oh boy, he feels like everyone in the world. He feels like everyone else in the world right now. He said it's kind of ramping up again, and it's getting to be that time of year when the flu season hits. Despite a bug going around, the Eagles' offense put up 472 yards by running back DeAndre Swift with 130 yards and wide receiver A.J. Brown with 9 catches for 131 yards. Hurts had up and down night throwing and rushing for a touchdown while also throwing a few interceptions, but was dazzling with some of his throws. He returned to Tampa and had some significant. His return to Tampa had some significance, as was the site of the Eagles' loss to the Bucks that ended their 2021 season. Hurts was 23 for 52 with 258 yards and a touchdown and an interception that night. An assistant for the Bucks who was mic'd up for the game was heard. This guy can't read the defense. Hurts indicating during the week that those comments were made to help draw some inspiration. I wonder what kind of inspiration though. All right. With the Jets quarterback situation under the intense pressure, they signed free agent Trevor Siemian to their practice squad, pending he passes a physical. Source told ESPN. Siemian was released by the Bengals in the preseason and joined Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle in the quarterback room. The move came 2 days after another poor performance on the Jets on Sunday, despite a vote of confidence from head coach Robert Saleh. Wilson will start on Sunday again against the Denver Broncos. That's gonna be murder. The Jets are 1-2
The
and
Broncos
are
are 0
rolling.
3.
Yeah, but out there in the West, the Jets never do. They never win. They can't beat
I
West
think
Coast
they
teams.
should. I think they
They
should.
should. They should. Yeah, you're right. But I've seen them play on the West Coast, and they're even worse there. I'm sorry. Well, they're playing at home, but still playing West Coast team. Wilson will start against Wilson will start against the Broncos on Sunday, since Coach Sala gives them a quarterback with experience and a potential option if Wilson continues to struggle. The Jets are 1-2 because Aaron Rodgers went down with, an, with a torn Achilles tear on the fourth play of the opening game of the season. Wilson came off the bench to help the Jets escape an overtime win against the Bills, but since then has done absolutely nothing. The Jets have only gathered 3 touchdowns on offense with Wilson as the quarterback. Simeon is 13-17 with 42 touchdowns, but also has 28 interceptions. That explains why he's 13-17. The former starter for the Broncos in 2016 and 2017 was regulated to be becoming a backup before being reinstated by the Broncos. He has not started a game since 2017 and dropped 6 consecutive starts, including one for the Jets in Week 2 of 2019 when he was replaced by Sam Darnold, who came down with a case of mono. Oh, great. Simeon lasted 1 quarter in that game as he suffered a season-ending ankle injury on a hit by Browns defensive end Myles Garrett. And that probably got mono anyway after that. No. Jason Verlander seems to be back to his old self at the defensive gym Monday night against the Marlins. He took a shutout into the ninth inning, giving up only 3 hits, and worked out of a jam that he faced, and the Astros created some cushion in the AL playoff chase with a 5-1 win for the Fish. Verlander put a finished performance, benefiting his status as one of the top right-handers in the game for most of his career. Ain't that the truth? He was on the verge of his first completed game in 4 years when he pitched no-hitter for the Blue Jays, but was pulled by manager Dusty Baker and pulled after Josh Rejos hit a double to start the ninth. Nevertheless, Verlander did his part by giving what the Astros needed after being swept at home by the Royals this past weekend. That's right, swept by the Royals. The Astros extended their lead to a game and a half for the Mariners for the final wildcard spot in the American League. The Astros were 2.5 games behind the Rangers for the final wildcard spot. When you lose it to the Royals, that's a big problem. Yeah. Raiders defensive end Chandler Jones wrote a social media post back on Monday that he was taken to a hospital against his will by the Vegas Fire Department and then was transferred to a behavioral facility last week. Jones was placed on the non-football injury list by the Raiders, saying that it was a personal issue. Jones had been away from the team since Labor Day weekend when he began a series of media posts aimed at owner uh, Mark Davis and general manager Dave Ziegler and head coach Josh McDaniels. He wrote on a post on X, formerly Twitter, Monday night, first day out, but I'm still aligned, indicating that yesterday was his first day out of the Raiders facility. He attached journal entries along with a statement of patients' rights from the Seven Hills Hospital in Las Vegas, highlighting sections of the document that he believes were not followed by the facility. In the journal entries, Jones said that 5 to 7 Las Vegas fire depletion officials came to his front door and was put on a court hold by the LVPD. I have done nothing. I have not done anything wrong. The police said they were concerned about me for my post, and I wrote adding once in the ambulance that he was injected with an undisclosed substance against his will. Jones was then taken to Southern Hills Hospital. Was taken to then to Seven Hills, where they tried to force me into taking more meds and injections. The rarest of the situation of Jones was a personal matter and declined to comment. Jones was inactive for the first 2 games of the season after being put on the NFL list and also missed
The
last
NFI
Sunday's loss
list?
the NFL list, and also
Oh,
missed
the NFL.
Sunday's loss and also missed Sunday's loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Oof.
The NFL list. I thought it was the non-football injury
The
list.
non Now the NFL said it too. Um, despite the contract that runs
That's what
through
NFI stands for.
non-football list, despite the contract that runs through the 2024 season with an option for 2025, Yankees manager Aaron Boone says he does not know will be invited back for next season. The Yankees were 79-77 at this point with the win over the D-backs and were eliminated from post contention on Sunday. The 506 win percentage is the worst since 1992 when they were only 496, though this is the worst with Boone taking over as manager. No, I don't worry about it, Boone told reporters when he asked about his job stats. It's not my decision. I am comfortable with who I am and the things I can control. Reporters indicated that General Manager Brian Cashman does not intend to fire Boone, so any change in the area will come from the top. Boone is acting like he will return, looking for ways to improve in the future. My job is mine doing everything to head in the offseason to prepare for us in a better position to try and compete for a World Series. Boone said that is what the goal is, and until they take it away, that is my focus. Boone this season, the Yankees made the Yankees in the postseason every year under Boone, making its way to the ALCS last season where they were swept. The Yankees advanced to the ALCS 3 times since 2017, 2 of them under Aaron Boone. Yeah. All right. Saints quarterback Derek Carr sprained his right AC joint and is considered week to week, said by head coach Dennis Allen.
That's what demoralized the Saints in their loss to the Packers. They blow a 17-0 lead because of that.
Yeah.
All in the fourth quarter.
What a way to lose a game. What a way to go down in the fourth quarter.
What a way to choke.
Yeah, but I got to put emphasis on it. Allen did not rule out Carr for this week's game against the Bucks, but the team will be cautious about him and would be surprised if he played in Sunday's game, sources told ESPN. James Winston would start if Carr is not able to go on Sunday. Allen did say Carr was feeling better yesterday and will continue to be evaluated throughout the week. We will not make decisions today, said Allen. We will see how everything plays out Allen did not specify the grade of the sprain. All I can say is that he feels better than he did 24, now we should say 48 hours ago. Allen, Allen said, "We are going to continue to evaluate him, and if he is healthy enough that he can go back out there and perform and do the things he needs to do to give our team a chance to win. And then he'll be back out there. Carr's playing status will be determined by his pain level and the ability to function, so the injury won't be made worse by him playing through it. Sometimes you gotta play through the pain." Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, aka Jimmy G, is on the NFL concussion protocol list after taking several hits in a loss to the Steelers on Sunday, putting his availability into next week's game against the Chargers in question. Coach Josh McDaniels said Monday that he was not sure when Garoppolo was injured and had not spoken to the quarterback. And while Garoppolo never left the game from a head injury, he took a hit to the head from Steelers safety Minka Fitzpatrick that ended with Garoppolo's head bouncing off the grass and midway through the fourth quarter. Garoppolo threw a touchdown pass to Davante Adams, then made the 2-point conversion and never left the game or was examined for a concussion during it. I'm not sure what the hit or concussion combination of hits. I have no idea, said McDaniel said. There was never a conversation about it. About that. So I'm not sure exactly, and I have not seen him this morning. So I can't say when it took place, or it could be a combination of things. The G-Man took several hits and was sacked 4 times as he completed 20 of 44 attempts for 324 yards with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He also leads the league in interceptions with 6. Oh boy. Garoppolo was scheduled to speak after the game, but it was announced that he would not attend as he was being evaluated for a concussion after he was sent to the locker room. If Garoppolo was not able to play on Sunday, the Raiders will start longtime veteran Ryan Hoyer or rookie Aiden O'Connell, who has not been active for a regular season game yet. That could change on Sunday, though. And one final note here. Chargers wide receiver Mike Williams suffered a season-ending ACL injury in their victory over the Vikings, source of ESPN. Williams is expected to be ready for training camp next season. He had been one of the Chargers' top targets entering the league since 2017. In March of 2022, the Chargers rewarded him with a new 3-year, $60 million deal. Williams left Sunday's game against the Vikings on a cart. He caught a pass in the third quarter and went to make a move on Viking safety Harrison Smith, but Williams planted his left leg and fell and was tackled from behind. Before the injury, Williams had his best game of the year with 7 catches for 121 yards. The injury comes less than a year after he returned from a back fracture he suffered at the end of last season, and he took the hit in the season finale against the Chargers. The injury to Williams could mean more snaps for receiver Quentin Johnson, who had 5 receptions and 26 yards through 3 games. I'm still trying to look for that rant by Joe Namath, because I'll tell you, Joe Namath really put the Jets to shred after Sunday's loss. Just embarrassing. I mean, he does not like Zach Wilson at all, and thinks that Wilson should be replaced, and the whole Jets staff needs a complete overhaul. And I agree with the comments that Namath said, because
I can't
Wilson
blame him.
is not. Yeah, I can't blame him either. And I'm a Jet fan, and Namath, gave that team a lot of success, of course, while he was there. And Wilson is not going to be the next Joe Namath for the Jets by any means at all. I mean, he is horrible. I mean, if Mike White wasn't traded, they would have kept him. Boyle might be a more legitimate shot to take over, because I'm not happy with this new acquisition. Because if you're 11-17 as a starter, what's it going to say about your team down the road in the next few games? I think the Jets are going to be in a lot of trouble with the next quarterback. Oh, it's gonna be hell. That's all I can say. All right, so now we'll finish up the scores for the night, as we saw some baseball games to be played, and the remaining scores go like this. Right now, in the top of the ninth, the Rangers are leading the Angels 4-0, with 2 out and nobody on. Estevez is pitching and Seaman is at bat. Top 7, Astros leading the Mariners 4-3 with the runners on first and third with 1 out. Barash is pitching and Trucker is at bat. Going into the top of the ninth, the Padres and Giants are tied at 2. Kim, Cooper, and Fountain are due up.
Had to squash a mini spider.
Ooh. And in the NHL, we have the exhibition scores here. As at the end of the second, the Knights are leading the Kings 3-1. Also going into the third period, the Ducks are leading the Sharks 3-1. And all the rest are final. Okay, that'll wrap it up for me, and I'll turn back over to you.
All right. Episode 86 is now in the can. We'll be back Sunday night for episode 87 of True Sports at starting. Oh wait, check that Saturday night, because Monday I gotta work. Next Monday I gotta work at the golf course. Yeah, I do. So we'll be back Saturday night and then Tuesday, and then either Tuesday night or Wednesday at 10. Well, I'll keep you posted.
All right. On that note,
Play
ta-ta.
Ta-ta.
Good night.